welcome back to a live stream. It has been a little while since you have last seen me, and again, I do not have my regular setup. I am not home in the south of France. I am currently in Nice. Let me put my microphone a little bit higher. I'm using this one here, right? So instead of the usual setup with my nice Kunz camera or Kunz microphone coming in from the side and the more professional looking webcam and whatnot, I again have my on-the-go setup, I suppose, which is the laptop, a mouse, my keyboard, and this little one. And I gotta say, I am actually positively surprised with the quality of this microphone, which is the Rode 2 Go thingy, wireless Go 2. So positively surprised. But welcome everyone. It has been a while since we last saw each other. It's, I think, about a week. Honestly, actually not too much changed compared to the previous update, which is good. So I can provide a new update before going on skiing holiday, which will make it tough to make another update. I am, however, not, I will give you a short run of my trip in America during the live stream today, but I won't go in detail because I quite simply don't have the time. It's 9 p.m. Switch to multi screen. It is 9 p.m. at the moment, and we have to get up at like 4 a.m. So once again, it's going to be a short night. So I will explain, like the last few days have been crazy, very little sleep, but I promised to you that I would provide you with a live stream today, and here we are, right? So I wanted to get a live stream in unrelated to the time this afternoon or later today. I'm with my friends now, so I'm actually at my friend's place. I'm driving with my friends to Austria tomorrow morning. It's going to be a trip of 10.5 hours. So I'm currently at my friend's place, and that explains the different setup. Now you can see I tried to put the chat above my my webcam window here. What you see is what I see. I only have one screen at the moment. I don't have my multi-screen setup. So everything that I see is what you see as well. Yeah, just so you know, so the moment I click this away, at least I know the sound is working. Then we're pretty much good to go, and this is going to be the window that we're going to be working with. So welcome everyone. I'm actually quite excited. I'm happy to speak to you. I miss providing content as much as you miss watching the content, because I love making it, but it's very difficult to travel every day while also making content on a regular basis. But as promised, wanted to get a video in or a live stream today. It is later than usual. It's almost 9 p.m. Central European time, but here we are. We are live. It's going to be another short night, but fuck that. I can sleep in the car while my friend is driving, and I can provide you with an update right now. So that's what we're going to do. Now in today's update, I'm going to talk about the weekly time frame, daily time frame, and the 4-hour/1 hour time frame, bit of a mix. You can see here in my analysis, I have weekly scenarios, daily. I don't have a 4-hour and 1 hour scenario here prepared for you, but that's because I just know. I didn't put it on the chart. I will draw it on the chart basically as we go through the different time frames. And then we will end with the probabilities as we always do. So yeah, there won't be too much chatting and Q&A. So again, like, it's been hectic. I am back in France on the 17th of March, and after the 17th, so when I'm back in France, that's when I'm going to give you the full beans, right? So I'm going to explain to you what we've done. I'm going to share the pictures with Bob Prechter, with Jared Tendler, with maybe a Band-Aid, with Adam, of our trip with my wife. I'll give you a full thing of what happened in America, but I can't do it yet because quite simply I don't have the time, because I got to get to bed after this stream. It's going to be another short night. So welcome everyone. Thanks for being here. And Mr. Brownback, how you doing? Gwendy Zoo, what's up? Hope your girlfriend is good, man. Guns, welcome. Hybrid Wills. Did you meet Prechter? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So again, I don't actually have stuff prepared, but I can. Oh, my phone. My phone died while I'm trying to charge everything but my phone. So let me phone, like, I'll charge my phone because the picture is on my phone, and I will show the picture like this when my phone has a little bit of battery. But yes, I had a meeting with Bob Prechter, but I'll go through the US trip in a second. VE, what's up? What's up? I will, Mr. Brownbug. Agent J, how you doing? Jedi, maybe a Band-Aid, the legend. I met him in the US. It was great having dinner with maybe a Band-Aid at a local place. Yes. Keep me up to date, man, Brownbug. Keep me up to date. All right, if I can provide you with any info, let me know. Legendario, what's up? Clinton, Taha, welcome everyone. Hash, yo, you guys are still awake at these times, huh? I mean, for Europeans, it's evening. For Americans, it's afternoon, so works well. Umar, Jarrett, Jarek, by the way. Did you get your bags? Yes, I did. They arrived at, I don't know, like, they arrived between 8 and 10. I think around like 8:30 or 9-ish they arrived, but then I had to unpack everything, wash some stuff, repack things, and then eventually go to bed, so it was a short night. Does your Elliott wave show BTC to 0? Because that's where it's going. Where there is a will, there's a way. But you know, you can try shorting Bitcoin to 0 and see how close it gets. You know, no financial advice. Lol. VZH, cheers, thanks, man. Yeah, as mentioned, I miss being live as well. It's not about the set, it's about your analysis. Cheers, Michael. I mean, I love doing analysis. I'm also happy that you guys enjoy the analysis, the way I present the charts, at least most of the people watching. So, yeah, thanks everyone for being here. He roll, smashed my back on snowboarding. Stay safe out there. Stay safe. Stay safe. RS Miller, One for Fitness, what's up? What's up? 10 minutes. Yeah, we go to Kapun, the glacier. So, hey, if you're there, you know, make sure to say hi. Mario, Crypto Hustler, welcome. Blaster, Moe, Von Tabada. What's up, guys? Dayan, after a long time, I know. So this is the plan of the live stream. I'm going to go into the analysis right now after saying hi, right? I just said hi to everyone here, as we always do. I'm going to go into the analysis weekly, daily, 4/1 hour time frame, talk about the probabilities, as we always do. After the analysis, as that's usually what most people are coming for, I will talk about my trip in the US shortly, because I don't have the pictures prepared. They're still all on my phone. So when I'm back from my skiing holiday, I want to give you a full run through of the whole trip in the US, including all of the meetings, but not just all of the meetings, also some of the stuff that my wife and I did and some of the pictures that we have taken as well. And just to show you a picture of Mr. Prechter, he signed my Elliott Wave book as well. So here is a photo. Wait, I need OBS. So actually my phone just turned on, so I just want to show you this. So before I even could take a photo with Prechter, he wanted to take a photo with Ashley, my wife, and me while we had dinner at this Mexican place. We just sat down. I didn't even ask him for a photo or whatever, anything. I wanted to do that at the end. We sat down. First thing he asks to the servant is, can you take a picture? Which is this one. So that is us, camera, hopefully it works. Yeah, there you go. So that is us, my wife and myself there, and then Prechter and his wife on the other side of the table, which was really cool. And then also here, I was like, oh, you know, at the end of the day, at the end of the evening, can we have a picture? And then I was just there standing to have a picture, and he, like, it's almost like I am ignoring his hand, but just trust me that I thought we would just like take a picture, professional, and he out of nowhere did this, but I wasn't ready yet, nor did I expect it. So in this picture, I left him hanging basically. But do not worry, we also have one where we actually shake the hand. So and I have more with the four of us here as well. So yes, I met Prechter, guys. guys, like, he is the most relaxed guy. Like, he is so relaxed, chill, very chatty, makes jokes all the time. Like, he could be, he's of course at like 70 something now. So with all respect, could be of course a grandpa for many viewers, I suppose. He would be one of those great grandpas, man. Like really fun, really active, very chatty, makes fun, makes jokes, great storytelling, talks about the company, the business. His wife helped him setting up the business, la di la. I made notes during or after the meeting because I couldn't record the meeting as we were in a restaurant by invitation of Robert Prechter himself. So I can't record in a restaurant. No? But I have his number. We chat on WhatsApp and on iMessage, actually on both at the same time. And it's definitely possible to do a stream once and have you guys join the stream and then get some live questions in and that sort of stuff. So that's stuff that we can do in the future. But I did make notes after our meeting in the restaurant, and I will, after my skiing holiday, go through those notes as well. And hopefully you learn a thing or two about Elliott Wave International as a business, about Elliott Waves, and also about some of the live lessons that he shared with me, as those were the three main topics that I prepared. So, okay, let's get started with the analysis, right? Let's get started with the analysis. Again, we're going to start on the weekly and then take it from there. So, of course, you know, price has been moving to the downside. In the previous video, I explained what we were looking for, so I won't go into that anymore. But we moved to the downside, find support on 78, and have a bit of a range at the moment, right? So since the previous update, actually not much happened because we made the previous update when price was somewhere here, right? I mean, you guys probably know exactly, I forgot, somewhere here, I think price was ranging. And we were talking about looking for, I think price actually took the low when I was recording. So price was here. I think it was this candle that I was posting the previous update. And we were looking for at least a bit of a bounce because we have the bit of the grind, sharp move down, bit of a grind, 4-5s, and we look for a reaction back towards the upside, right? And then I explained locally, if this is a 5-wave move, we look for a 3-wave correction continuation. If this is a 3-wave structure, we have to be aware of the potential of taking the low. Now we'll get into that later, right? Let's first go to the weekly time frame because that's the previous video. We'll get to this. We're going to start with the weekly time frame. And I'll get to this as well. Actually, E-Waves, Brown Buck, is done by his son, by Elliott. His son is called Elliott Prechter, of course. And his son, very impressive work that his son does. He has an incredible curriculum vitae, like CV. And he has the best background to develop that stuff with AI as well. And yeah, I don't know how, I haven't used it myself, so I can't really give an opinion, but it's impressive nonetheless. They worked on it for 10 years. Okay, so cool. Let's get started, else we'll never get started. So with regards, like I'll go through the scenarios, bullish and bearish, and then get to the probabilities after covering the time frame, right? But I want to start with at least this. This is your quote-unquote bearish scenario. I want to start with this because of sometimes I keep an eye on Discord, I keep an eye on Telegram, right? So even though I'm traveling and I'm everywhere, I every morning open Discord, open Telegram, see what's up, see what's been written, usually before bed or somewhere during the day. I also check Discord, check Telegram, check if there's questions, check, see what's going on. And we have a bit of a move towards the downside, and at some moments I can feel a bit of emotion in a way, right? And it's those type of messages where the moment you read them, you're like, ooh, I think either someone bought in this range here, or it's people that have, of course, bought lower, but they're not selling as price goes up. So, they have maybe a different plan or no plan at all, but then they get a move like this and they get very nervous, right? They don't really know what's going on. Or is it bear market now? Are we still in the bull market? What the fuck is actually going on? They don't know. And you can see that emotion in the message. And I think what's most important is to at least be aware of the potential that, well, you can count 5 waves, no? Right? There's at least the potential for the end of a 5 at the high. Is it the highest probability at the moment? In my opinion, from an Elliott wave point of view, this structure still looks like a higher probability corrective move, which increases probabilities to still take out the high. That is not like moon boy stuff. I'm like literally the most not moon boy out there, I suppose. I'm also not bearish. I'm nor bullish nor bearish. I am an Elliott wave analyst. I just trade probabilities. There was one guy in my comments that said I was a moon boy, but I think he forgot to watch some other YouTubers and compare them with me. But nonetheless, I don't care if price goes to 200K. I don't care if it goes to 50K. Would be very happy if it does. But we trade probabilities, we trade Elliott waves, we analyze Elliott waves. Probabilities are given due to the analysis. Probabilities remain higher. This is corrective. It's the way it is. It's Elliott waves. Yeah, you can blame Elliott waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a potential for a high? Yes. Is this a 5-wave target? This is your target for a wave 5. High is made inside the target. Is there the potential? Yes. So from a risk management point of view, right? And I've been talking about this in many live streams, right? This is not the first time I covered this. I covered this at least like a couple of times a month, no? Is from a investing / swing trading perspective, you gotta be aware that there is at least a chance of finishing a 5-waver when we were ranging here, right? We've been talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, couple of 1, 2s, look for a couple of 4, 5s. We are aware that could this be the high? Could this be the high? Could we look for another high? Preferably, yes, we look for another high, but there is at least the potential, right? And the moment you start moving into 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, I'm not a financial advisor, but my swing trading or investing is basically the moment, like when we look towards potentially ending bull markets, my trading behavior is very different compared to the beginning, right? In the beginning, I'm interested in buying and buying and buying and buying. But the moment we get the potential of a 5-wave in your bearish scenario, that is where I start selling, right? And then I wait for a range or a retracement, right? A range or a retracement. And if that range or retracement is corrective, the probabilities are higher, it is corrective, then I'm looking for price to still take the high, and I will look for a new opportunity to add again. So basically my strategy then changes to do buy, is going to be sell, wait for, is it corrective or impulsive, right? If price goes back up, 3-wave structure, get a retracement, buy, look for price to move up. Wait for a new range over here, sell, wait for the range, maybe a retracement. If corrective, buy, look for price to move up. It is risk management, right? Because you got to be aware at least of the fact that a bull market, could be over. Is it the highest probability? No. Is it the potential? Yes. Got to be aware of it, right? So it's good to be aware of it. Preferably in this scenario, actually, would still see another high, but the longer this move to the downside is, the higher the probabilities that in a bear market scenario, your 5 is in, right? And you don't actually get that last push up here, and then this would be your count, right? So perfect, right? Perfectly managed then from an Elliott wave point of view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You start ranging in 4, 5s. That's the moment where you want to de-risk, right? I'm not here to exit at the exact high. I'm not here to enter at the exact low. I'm here to manage my risk and my probabilities, right? That's what we're doing. So no, there's at least the potential. And now I myself am observing this structure. Am I in longs at the moment? No. Did I reinvest my swings? No, right? I'm very open. I am not invested. I am not long. I'm also not short, to be honest, because I missed everything because I was in the US and I was traveling. So yeah, I wasn't really looking at the chart a lot. So I'm in no I'm in no position. I still have a little bit of my big swings like running, but most of it is sold because now I'm in my ending of a bull market type of trading where I just wait for a range, corrective or impulsive, potential add, look for higher, corrective, impulsive, potential, sell again, potential add higher, etc. Everyone has their own strat, but that's how I cover it. So this is your most bearish scenario. So got to be aware. Is it the highest probability? No, not yet. Got to be aware? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Now in this bearish scenario, these are the channels. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Wave 4 coming back to the base channel, hitting the midline, moving up. That's what you like to see. This is the trend channel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want wave 4 to break the channel, which happened over here. And then you have the end channel where preferably your 5 ends in the upper half of the channel, which also happened. Got to be aware. Is it the highest probability? No, it's actually not, because this still looks better as a corrective structure. But that's local price action. So let's go to a more bullish scenario. And we'll talk about probabilities. I mean, I kind of already covered a bit of probabilities. The probabilities on the weekly are related to the 4-hour time frame, right? So depending on, in the 1 hour, depending on lower time frame structures, the probabilities are impacted on the daily and the weekly. So because the probabilities here are higher, this is a corrective structure and not impulsive at the moment from a probability standpoint. It's not yet confirmed because preferably we move above 99 actually. But the probabilities are still higher. This is corrective till proven otherwise, which means that on a weekly you would still look for higher. But before I start to reinvest back into longs and potential swings, I want to see actually a bit of a break above 99, then look for a retracement and then add on the retracement basically. And I'm patient because I'm also on holiday and traveling and all that stuff. So I only do I basically only trade 4-hour time frame at the moment, and nothing happened. Now this is a more bullish scenario. The issue here would be that your wave 3 is not too long, right? So you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and this has to be your 3, but then your wave 3 is very short, no? And your wave 3 in blue is not allowed to be the shortest wave. Now we are on a log scale here, right? And you can see that your wave 3 is shorter than your wave 1. Now that is not a problem in the blue. We're talking about the blue one, right? That's not a problem as long as wave 5 is shorter than 3. Because in Elliott waves, wave 3 cannot be the shortest. So if this is a finished 3 here, and this is a blue 4, no overlap allowed with your wave 1, by the way, at 74K, that's an invalidation. You still need a 5. 5 has to be shorter than your wave 3 for this to then be valid. No? But it's still a scenario I do keep at least an eye on. Yeah, not really a lot more to say. Yeah, I mean, invalidation is taking out the low at 49. Yeah, well, actually, that's not true. If your wave 3 is going to be positioned on this top, right? Then your wave 4 invalidation is hitting 74K. So yeah, so at the moment, let me quickly check. The invalidation for this count is 69.5. You need to make another high before touching 69.5, because if you do, then you can put wave 3 over here, and then you can start a blue 4 and then get blue 5 after. Right? So yeah, and this 618 basically invalidates 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, and then 5. It invalidates this wave 4. Okay, that will be covered in low time frame stuff as well. Most bullish scenario, I think the only person I saw talking about this really is Green Star Trading. Great guy, by the way. I love his direct approach. So I would love to meet him one day as well. But yeah, so this is like your multi 1-2, which is your insane, most bizarre, impulsive, bullish market scenario. Like, the only way is up. Absolute moon scenario. This is not a scenario that I have as the highest probabilities. I do understand where he's coming from. I understand his analysis and the way he analyzes the chart. It just with the, I don't know, with the current market, it's just something that looks very bullish for the price action that we see. It's a scenario I have in my folders for a long time already. It's something that I have been keeping an eye on, but even in your, actually preferably even in your bearish scenario, it would be nice to have a wave 5 still a bit higher, to get 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, and then a 5. And this move up would then of course be similar, at least short-term similar, to getting this leg up. But here we continue, and in the bearish scenario you finish your 5 and you basically go down. But then the short-term price action is the same, which basically means you're looking for a corrective structure and then another impulsive move. And then depending on the impulse, we know what comes next. How far does it extend? What's the volume, etc. Right? But that's stuff that we can check once it's there. Right, so this scenario to me doesn't really make too much sense yet as a high probability scenario. Right, I am more interested in looking for either a wave 5. I would prefer actually still another high, but the bigger this move comes, the lower the probabilities. Or looking for something similar to this. Now, in the previous video, I also explained maybe you can have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 as well, or even 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. It all results to the same stuff, right? It sounds very complex, like what the fuck are there 5 scenarios now? But it all basically comes back to similar price action, which basically means probabilities are higher. This move down is corrective, which therefore means that from an Elliott wave point of view, you would still look for price to take out the high at a later stage, right? At some point, you look for price to take the high. You look for a correction, and then you look for continuation to take the high, right? If you really want to change market structure, if you really want to move into a bear market, you want to get an impulsive move down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction, and you look for another leg, right? That is what basically you are going to be looking for. And that's also stuff that you can see with previous bear markets, no? Right? You can see how sharp the initial moves are. This was also sharp move down, changing structure, corrective move up. Look how sharp these moves are to the downside, right? This was very messy, I'm not gonna lie. That was a very messy move to the downside. But still, of course, I mean, it turned into a bit of a diagonal, even though this, of course, is very corrective on lower time frames. But then eventually, once this turned into a diagonal, right, that's the moment where you change probabilities. Here, with this bearish scenario, or this bear market here, is this move to the downside, this here, was corrective here, higher probability that this is corrective. You're looking for the high to be taken. But the moment you could count a potential diagonal, that is where the probabilities switch a bit more to the bears as well, because now you have the potential to count an ABC, because there's the potential for a diagonal. But you don't have that diagonal until your 5th wave is in. And a diagonal can only get probabilities if you finish a 4 and then take out the low of 3 to get your 5. So you can see it, the probabilities only switch to the bears in this scenario pretty late. Not to forget that still you have this move to the upside coming all the way back to this range. So even from an Elliott wave point of view, and this is hindsight, but it's good to understand how to trade this stuff as well, right? So even if probabilities are higher, this is corrective, we're looking for the high, price goes down. Still corrective, right? Still looking for the high, cool. Eventually we get a diagonal. Okay, perfect. Price comes back up inside the range, then this is the potential sell opportunity, no? To then see what price does. Right? Of course, in hindsight, we go down. In hindsight, could have gone up as well. And then, yeah, I sold a portion, but then cool, hit the 886, get a bit of a retracement, look for continuation. The 886, once touched, has a very high probability of getting a bit of a retracement to the golden pocket before continuation to take the high. So the moment you then touch an 886, re-entry area. So you basically sell over here, right? At least a bit, right? Risk management. If price would have continued, cool, miss out, wait for a retracement, add again, because now probabilities are in favor of continuation. So this is how things change in probabilities depending on how new information comes in. I also realize, based on the past 2 years, that it is very difficult and complicated to understand how probabilities change with new information and how to trade Elliott waves and stuff. And I want to say, and some will know, but I'm working on a website and then eventually a platform. And on the platform, there's going to be a lot more additional education on the implementation of Elliott waves, and not just labeling, but how do probabilities change with new info coming in and how to manage that from a trading perspective, right? So that's going to be incredibly detailed, but that's what many struggle with, right? They know the waves, but they don't really know how probabilities and everything change. Anyway, bit of a detour. So yeah, on the weekly time frame, because of the lower time frames here, this higher probability, this is corrective at the moment. The probabilities remain higher to still look for higher. That's just the way it is. If we do get a diagonal, cool, probabilities will change more towards maybe a 50-50 ratio, but at the moment that's not the case. So cool. Now this is something we keep an eye on until invalidated. And in this scenario here, what you see is an impulse to the upside. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now I'll go a bit quicker, else I go to bed way too late as well. So here we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So basically a couple of 1, 2s that are stacking. Those are all 1, 2s of a lower degree, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside 3, you have the yellow count. Inside yellow 3, the green, etc. Right? So it's Elliott wave degrees basically. Now what you see here, and this is important because this move looks big, right? We could say like, oh, that's quite a big move. But if you look at this structure from a time perspective and a price perspective, it's a completely, at the moment, completely normal looking wave 4. No? And what we're looking for is the red count. So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a wave 5. You can see all the vertical lines, and it is most common for a wave 4 to be longer than a wave 2. And that is what the vertical lines represent. So your wide wave 4 is 3 times longer, almost 3 times longer, than your wide 2. Yeah? Let me actually use Ctrl Z. The blue 4 is almost twice the length of blue 2. Green 4, right, is over 1, like more than 1, how can I say this? Blue 4 is longer because it's the 1.236, is longer than 2. Yellow 4 is twice the length of yellow 2. Red 4 with this current low is longer than wave 2, which is most common. It is most common for a wave 4 to be longer than a wave 2. It did not reach the 0.618 on the log chart. So I'm using the log chart here, not the linear chart. Also actually on the linear chart, it also didn't hit the 0.618 at 74. So yeah, it didn't hit the 618. But I'm using the log chart here. And the reason I use the log chart is to also give a bit of a bigger target area for a wave 4, because the targets for log are a little bit lower. So it gives you a bit more flexibility. And your fibs are well respected. The 0.236 had a great reaction. The 0.382 has a great reaction, right? It's nicely respected. It's good reaction for each of the fib levels tested so far, which are targets for a wave 4, which is the reason why I also like to use the log in this case, because the fibs create a reaction, which is nice to see, right? So the 0.5 is your maximum target, 75.7K, right? You just don't want to hit the 618, that's 69.5K. That's the level you don't want to hit, basically, right? So at the moment, this is still a very interesting scenario. And then you finish a 4, you look for 5, and then this wave 5 will end, I don't know, Q3 this year, right? Because if you're still looking for an impulse up, you still need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. This will take some time, a couple of months or something, and then eventually we'll end it, right? So we'll see a couple of weeks, couple of months, 2 months. But it takes time. It takes time. Wave 4s tend to be long. Again, white 3 times, right? Blue 2 times, yellow 2 times. This low is only made after the 1. It is no problem for this wave 4 to just continue going sideways, range here, or come down again to test the 05 and then move up. You're only at a 2 on the 19th of March. I'm already back from my skiing holiday on the 19th of March, so we'll see what happens there. I come back on the 17th. But you can see that there's still a lot of time for your wave 4 from a probability perspective. Before we are going to label this as, oh shit, it's actually really getting too long now, right? If a wave 4 gets too long, we got to think about a 4, 5, 6 fib time. We're not even at 2. Right? We got time. So this remains a scenario that I am very interested in. But as mentioned, before I jump into longs myself from a swing perspective and more like investing perspective, I want to have a bit more confirmation. Currently, this looks very clearly like a 3-wave structure, right? Even if we do come back down a little bit further, this still looks corrective. I would really like to see 99K taken, get a bit of a rejection, and then look for positions there, right? That's what gives me more trust on the higher time frames, yeah, I mean, that's the highest probability scenario that I look for on the daily. Alternatives are like from a, I mean, this is a weekly scenario that I actually just covered. If we do come back down and move to 69, and looking for support in the previous range makes absolute sense. This is your most important support area, which is both important for a 4 and then a future 5. Or the most bullish scenario, this is another 1, 2, and then this is your invalidation, this is your support. So even if you come down and move down further, you would definitely, high probability, expect at least a bounce on this range, right? And then this has to be impulsive for continuation. That's what we're looking for. Important support here is the point of control at 67.5K. That is the point of control of this range. For the ones that don't use volume, that is the highest volume, or the, oh, no, wait, that's the most traded in volume of, I mean, volume is volume, it's just the way it is. It's the highest traded area in this range, right? That's where most of the volume has been traded. Most of the Bitcoin has been traded at that area. It is important support. So that's something that I do keep an eye on if we do continue towards the downside. Okay. Okay. And then we get to the lower time frames. Now, I do not have any Elliott weights prepared, like scenarios prepared, but we can keep it incredibly simple, right? All of this here basically doesn't matter too much. Why? We created a low. Is this move to the upside an impulse? Or is this move to the upside a 3-wave corrective structure? No. I mean, I could do a poll, but I suppose you can answer the question just by looking at the chart. So if we want to see bullish continuation, if this here was the end of wave 4, right, in one of the bullish scenarios, I should say this differently, make it easy. If this was the end of the corrective structure, and from this low, we start a new impulsive move, we want to count a 5-wave impulsive move, right? We want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is covered in the previous update that I posted when I was in Washington, when price was falling here, right? We were looking for a bounce, remember? And I mentioned, keep an eye on the structure of the bounce. 5-wave or 3-wave, right? That's the only thing you have to know, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said if I see a 5-wave structure, I look for a retracement, happy to buy. If I see a 3-wave structure, not cool, not really looking to buy. So I didn't. No, so I didn't. And as this is a higher probability three-wave structure, I gotta show you in silver what that means because I posted it somewhere. There we go. So you can read. Look, it's easier for me to write updates than making videos. You can see this, right? So basically here we had a low in, right? This low on top of support, right? So basically what I said here is this move to the upside. So the initial structure up. Oops, let's do this for a second. No, there we go. So this move up, right? So it's the final alinea. This move up here. Side note: the move up is sharp, and the range in the middle, which is this range here, is very shallow. Something that does tend to happen more often for corrections compared to wave 2s. In other words, wave Bs or Xs. Something to keep in mind, right, while touching resistance, because we were at resistance. I already removed it from my chart, but we had a red box. My chart was on during this whole time. So if you had my chart open, you would have seen this red box, which acted as resistance over here, right? That was pretty much the high. It was the high. And then we started moving down. For an impulse, we still needed to see 4 5s. At the moment, it is a 3-waver, and we never took this high. We moved to the downside, right? So I basically explained what I was looking for. We were at resistance here, my red box, right? It was a 3-waver, but most notably, this range is very shallow, which does fit better with a corrective move than an impulsive move, which tends to be corrective, as mentioned in the silver post. And in the end, the probabilities for that played out as price moved down. We never saw 4 and a 5. So what does all of this mean? Well, the probabilities are higher to continue ranging sideways in a triangle / take out the low. In other words, probabilities are higher to take out the low than move up impulsively. However, I mean, that was a couple of days ago. Your quote-unquote most bullish scenario is W, X, A, B, C, D, E, triangle, continue up. In this case, you're in validation. Wait. I'm going to put scenarios on my chart because else I am afraid that I'm not doing this good enough for people to follow. So let me just, this is your most bullish scenario at the moment. And something like, and for the bulls, of course, there's the potential for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's too early. It's a bit too early to talk about diagonal still. I'm mixing stuff now. I'll get to the diagonal in a second. But this would be a W, X, and then a triangle in a wave Y, right? And then you have A, B, C, D. You look for wave E, and after wave E, oops, up you go. Now, why is this not a great scenario? First of all, your wave X did not touch the 0.7 Fibonacci. And a WXY like this, zigzag X triangle, where wave Y, right, like this is a sideways WXY, as we like to call it, a double combo, but you can see it's quite sharp. It's not really sideways. Preferably, if we look for WX and a triangle in a Y, it's more of a sideways corrective structure, right? You get something like this, right? This is a more almost like a sharp WXY, and preferably in a sideways WXY, your wave X hits the 0.7. Now, a minimum target that I keep in mind for X would be the golden pocket, which was touched. So we did hit the golden pocket over here. So you could say it's something we can keep in mind, but we didn't touch the 0.7 actually. But nonetheless, this would be a bullish scenario: A, B, C, D, E, finito, and then you move to the upside. So the 0.7 not touched, it does impact the probabilities a little. And also in a triangle, 4 out of the 5 waves have to be simple zigzag structures. If one is complex, it's most commonly wave C. If not C, then D. If not D, then B, and if not B, then A or E, but that's incredibly rare. B is already rare. D is uncommon, C is most common. And basically what that means is that I might do stuff quite quickly, but you know, can put this stuff on replay, I suppose. So this is your triangle. So this needs to be ABC, B, ABC, C can be any zigzag family structure, preferably if complex, C is complex. Then you have D, which preferably is actually ABC as well. And then eventually you get wave E, which preferably then is another ABC to the downside. Yeah, you gotta look into the low time frames, which I haven't really done. Arguably, you can count this as an impulse here to the downside as well. This. So yeah, I don't really want to go into detail, but I'll show the idea here, and then we talk about probabilities later. So that's your bullish option, right? WXY, triangle in Y. Okay. Your second bullish option is this is the low, and you look for a diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see this scenario coming up, left, right, center, even in gold. But guys, why are we even looking at diagonals? I don't know. This does not make any sense to me. It is a bullish scenario. It's way too early to cover diagonals. It might be the like if you do want to count this as the low of a correction here, and you look for bullish continuation, then yeah, this is the only scenario you have. But before this diagonal is going to have the highest probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view, you need to have this move finished. You need a 4 to be in. We're not. I mean, we haven't even taken a high here yet to get a wave 3. You know what I mean? So I'm not looking at the diagonal until we get a 4. I have it in my mind, and just as many people in gold and other people in Discord, Bitcoin, Elliott wave, general chat have the diagonal in mind, which is good. But you can't have it as a highest probability scenario unless you get your wave 4 there. Right? Until that, there's other scenarios that look better. Even a WXY looks better, right? WX triangle in Y looks better than trying to force a diagonal here, which, I mean, we haven't even formed the like a wave 3. It's not great. So by all means, because this is a high probability 3-wave structure, ABC, the probabilities are higher. For bulls, you're looking for either a triangle, which then is labeled wave Y in a WXY where X didn't hit the 0.7. Wave Y, can you count this nicely as an ABCDE? I don't know, I haven't counted the 15-minute. It's up to the counters, right? With your alternative being a diagonal, but it's way too early, way too early. And then we get to the bearish scenarios, which actually look more interesting, which is where you have your WX and then, whoops, WX and then a wave Y. Take out the low again. So this is A, B, C. Take out the low, hit the weekly naked point of control at 76, interesting support. A little bit below there, 68.8. I mean, it's quite far below. To me, the weekly naked point of control is most interesting at 76, to be honest. Find support on 76 would be nice, and then you finish and then you go. You grab that final liquidity, Trump with the bullish news and signing this and signing that and blah, 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 right? Nice, everyone bullish, dump them, right? Grab the liquidity, wrecked. Very nice, poof, and then you go up after everyone got wrecked, right? So buy the rumor, sell the news type of stuff. I personally don't I don't follow the news at all. I just happen to know about it because of a WhatsApp group that I'm in. So I saw it there. I don't really look at the I only look at news with regards to volatility, which is why I always have the calendar. But yeah, I don't really know what it means. So, okay, what does this mean? Probability is higher. This is a three-wave structure, which automatically means probabilities are higher to range, triangle, or take out the low. When will I switch bullish? If we do move up and take out 99, that's when I will look for a retracement. That's when I'm bullish. That is where I'm like, okay, right, now we can definitely have the potential of a finished triangle. Get your wave E in, look for price to move up, take out the high, and then this is definitely higher probability, like clear three-wave structure down and very nice. As long as we do not take 99K, yeah, I'm not interested. Gotta be honest, I'm really not interested in participating in this market. It's a messy market, it's a ranging, complex structure. This range has the potential to be this shit, you know, like it's rubbish, it's bad, it's bad. So I wait for clarity. I don't care about sniping the low. I care about winning. That's what I care about. I care about winning money, not losing money. I don't care about entering here, entering here, entering here, entering here. No, I want to see price give me the probabilities, get me the retracement, I'll add. If we go higher, I always wait for retracement. Eventually we get a retracement and then I will add, right? That's where I buy. I don't care about sniping 76, sniping 90, sniping whatever. I care about probabilities. Same here, right? Same here, same here. We made the low, right? Very ugly move to the upside, very three-wavy. Did we take this low at a later stage? No, we didn't, right? So we move up 3 ways. We move down in 3 ways. We took out the high. This was the first sign for the potential bulls. Where was the real sign? Here. Hit the 886 from the high to the low, over here, retrace towards the golden pocket. This was the most interesting structure in this whole range, right? And that's where that's where, you know, you might be late, quote unquote, might be late here. You're like, oh fuck, could have had a position at 49. I'm at 67, right? But what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, yo, if I'm at 67, what's the problem? You know what I mean? So of course, I also trade lower time frame Elliott waves, but at the moment I don't. At the moment I trade the 4 hour because I'm traveling, right? And from a 4 hour perspective, this here was a high probability, low or corrective structure finish. We look for price to move towards the uppy, right? To the upside. At the moment locally, I look for price to break this high, or I just wait for more ranging and more info, to be honest. Wait for price to take the high, get me that retracement, and then I look for entries. That's when I look for longs. As long as we do not get that, I'm not interested. So W, X, A, B, C, interesting scenario, take out the low. Look for signs of strength. Same thing. If we take out this low, we hit the weekly naked point of control. It depends on your strategy. Everyone has a different strategy. I don't trade like you do, right? Everyone is different. I'm not trading here, right? Probably. At least not from a 4 hour perspective, right? So I need to wait for support, wait for structure to the upside, wait for the retracement, and then I might get interested, right? So takes time. But what it does is I have patience. I wait for the ideal setup. I don't care about sniping lows or highs. I care about winning. I wait to win. That's what I wait for. Your most bearish scenario is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 down bear market. Yes, that is correct. You got to keep it in mind, no? Expanding diagonal in your wave 1, this is your 2, another wave 1, another 2. Highest probability? No. Why? Expanding diagonals are very rare, especially for wave 1s, right? So of course wave C sometimes, wave A, but you know, it's not really something you like to start an impulse with. So it's not really too awesome, but that's why I can't give it the highest probabilities till proven otherwise, which basically means move below 49K, and then we talk about the bear market. So, but of course, I don't get wrecked if we go to 49K, because I know that I want to see price take out this high. The reason why is if you take out this high, the multi-1-2 is incredibly low probabilities, right? If not invalidated almost. It give so much higher probabilities to the bulls that that's when I'm very interested, right? So yeah, probabilities, let me summarize. Probabilities on the weekly are still higher to take out this high, at least before taking out the low, but look for higher prices still to come because the probabilities are higher that this move down is a corrective structure, not an impulsive structure, this here. Impulsive structure would be 1, 2, 1, 2 down, but then this wave 1 is an expanding diagonal. Expanding diagonals are rare, never preferred unless everything else fails. So that is why I can't give it the highest probabilities. Increasing probabilities, this is corrective. Increasing probabilities to still look for the high at a later stage. And then on the 4 hour, probabilities are higher. This is a 3-waver. For the bulls, that means finish a triangle. Invalidation, move below this low, by the way. You want E in and then continue, right? Alternative diagonal, way too early, doesn't make sense yet. So basically the triangle would be your best bet at the moment. Is it great? Not really. 0.7 not touched for X, but it's an idea. It's a good idea. It's valid. X hit the golden pocket based on the analysis, of course. But that would be your pick. So you have a triangle, you finish your wave E, you continue to the upside, right? Perfect. You look for a wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, retracement, long area, continuation. That's the Elliott wave trade opportunity on a 4-hour time frame, which requires patience. You're not grabbing the low, but you're grabbing probabilities, right? But because this is a high probability 3-wave structure, the moment I posted this on silver, when price was here, probabilities were higher to continue ranging / take out this low. That was the highest probabilities. Now we have the potential maybe for a triangle as long as we stay above this low here. So yeah, that is it basically, right? So probability is higher to continue the range / take the low. If we do move up, then yeah, we look for a triangle. We look for wave 1, 2, long, go. So that is the highest probability from an Elliott wave point of view. And that's that basically. So that's lots of talking. I think how long did we analyze for? We analyzed for, oh, I actually can't see it here. We analyzed for about a solid 45 minutes. So, So now I mentioned that, after the analysis, I will shortly talk about yes, but I also really got to go to bed. It's getting 10 p.m. Ik wel. As you guys know, I'm with my friends here. We're going to leave tomorrow morning at like 3, 4 a.m. driving to Austria. This is Stein. Wait 1 second. Wait. There we go. So this is, there you go. This is Stein.
Hola.
Hola. So Stein and myself, we know each other for like 18 years or something.
Yeah, too long.
Too long.
We need to discuss that.
Yeah, we need to break up. Yeah. So I'm currently hanging out with Stein and Naomi, his partner, his engaged soon-to-be wife at some point. And
all the pretty ladies know.
Yeah,
Jeez.
exactly. Yeah, she's all those girls watching. Now I'm here, and we got to wake up at 3, 4 a.m. to get, drive the car to Austria. We drive with 2 cars, 7 people, and well, 8 actually if we count a little kid as well. So I won't stay on for too long, but I will explain about my trip to the US. In a little bit. Let me see if anything here happened. Agent J, when you see both bullish and bearish CVD, how do you determine which are they both valid or are? Good question. With regards to CVD, of course, always the lower time frame CVD gets priority, and it's context. First of all, do you have higher probability Elliott wave scenario, right? If so, trade the CVD in the direction of your higher probability Elliott wave scenario. Second, is price touching support or is it touching resistance, right? If price touches resistance, so here we had an order block. If price touches resistance and you get bearish CVDs soon after on a 15-minute time frame, that's a high probability bearish CVD because you just touched your resistance, right? So that's interesting, no? It's the same as, oh, we're moving down into support, right? If we get some bullish CVDs, that's interesting. At least you do got to keep building bullish CVDs and not get more bearish because local CVDs are most important, right? So you got to keep it in mind. So the CVD that you prioritize depends on the context. You can use two things for context, right? Either use your highest probability Elliott wave scenario, / use support resistance levels. If you touch support, you get bullish CVD, that's cool. If you touch resistance, get bearish CVD, that's nice, right? Those are the ones that you wanna look for. Yo, Arbusni, by the way, thanks, dude. Thanks for the buck. Thanks, man. Arbusni Sok, everyone, was the first editor for shorts here on the channel. The first super on a live stream. Yo, thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude. Quick scroll here. Quick scroll. Yeah, thanks, Arbusni Sok, man. Arbusni Sok, he's in Diamond and he has been trading the updated strat and has been doing well. He actually made a Instagram reel on his account as well, but I don't think it's on an Instagram story about a winning setup. But I don't think it's online anymore. But glad that it's working out. Yeah. I'm also going to change the memberships this year. Should happen after my ski holiday. That's when I really want to get into it. See, I know, right? I know. Oh, really? Did we get some confettis in? Smash your meniscus with snowboarding. It can be a dangerous sport. Board safe. I will. Yes, many 4-5s. Thanks, maybe a band-aid. Elliott waves. Koen's interpretation was waiting for it. What's up, WXYXZ, by the way? Koen, you are talking together with Trump. I think we have to listen to you since he changes his mind every 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah,
That's funny because it's true.
Volg jij zijn quote?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, of course, I was at the White House. I think like a week ago, and of course spoke to Trump and spoke to Elon Musk, and basically told them like, "Yo, guys, just go down a little bit more, grab some liquidity, and then just get it over with and pump again, right? So we want to see markets going up." Of course, this is sarcastic in case you don't get it. I did actually go to the White House, but obviously I didn't speak with Trump nor Elon Musk. But yeah, I was at the White House.
Let's not discuss politics.
No, exactly. No. When I was there was a lot of police around the White House because Zelensky was visiting.
Yeah, that was another thing.
Yeah.
Don't discuss it.
No, for sure. No. Yo, Mugandusi, man. Cheers, man. Thanks, dude. What's up, NFA? See if you get some sleep. Yeah, we'll have some sleep soon, that's for sure. Okay, my trip to the US. Now, it will be very short. I don't have the pictures. They're on my phone. I will share a couple of pictures, but I can't share them on my desk, on my screen. So I'll only shortly summarize the trip that I had. Oh, by the way, again, just probabilities, right? Weekly bullish, daily bullish, 4 hour looking for a corrective structure, 3-wave move up, look for a range / take the low, take 99K, look for retracement, continuation upside, basically. Because there's the potential of at least a triangle and E and then a move up. So because there's the potential for a triangle, I can't necessarily say like continuation range, but I haven't looked into the waves of a triangle, the sub-degree. So I don't know if this looks like a good triangle, to be honest, but yeah, that's for another time. Cool. Oh, 1 second, everyone. Give me 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Okay. So very short. Also, we still have bullish CVD, not to forget. Arrived in Miami, 1 day in Miami, and then drove to like Orlando to meet Maybe a Band-Aid, which is the moderator that actually is in the chat here as well. So here, Maybe a Band-Aid. So met up with Maybe a Band-Aid, had dinner with Maybe a Band-Aid as well. And then after that went to Gainesville. Gainesville, I met up with Prechter. Now let me first show you the picture with Maybe a Band-Aid. I only have one screen at the moment, so I have to know what you guys are looking at. So this is Maybe a Band-Aid. I know it's not really great content, but I don't have the picture on my laptop. So here you go. So that's us. And after meeting with Maybe a Band-Aid, that is when I eventually met with Prechter in Gainesville. So that is Robert Prechter, founder of Elliott Wave International and author of Elliott Wave Principle, right? The book. This was a picture. I showed this at the beginning of the stream, but just to repeat, before we even had dinner, we just sat down and Bob was, yo, let's have a picture. He asked the waiter. So this was a picture made with his phone that he sent to me afterwards. And then at the end of the evening, we took some pictures together as well. We had a conversation about business, Elliott waves, and life lessons. Those were the three main topics that I was interested in, that we spoke about. But he showed a lot of interest in my wife and me. He's very relaxed, very chill. He's like your favorite grandpa kind of guy. Funny, great stories, lots of experience. It was an amazing experience. What an amazing person. I have to say, like really awesome. And it was, of course, an honor to meet him and for him to say yes as well. And we have a great connection. Even after the meeting, we continued chatting on WhatsApp and iMessage, actually both. Yeah, it's great. And I definitely think that at some point we can set up a live stream, like a duo stream of some sort, and maybe get some questions from you guys in live. Right? Okay. Now after that we went to visit Adam, and that was quite funny actually, because Adam, this guy over here, he's also one of the moderators here on the channel, and he lives close to like he lives in Wilson basically. And he actually, so I don't know how he looks. I have never seen a picture really. Like, so I had no idea. So my wife and I get out of the car. We walk to the front door of the restaurant that he picked, and we walked towards the door, and then a gentleman came at pretty much the same time, and then he opened the door for us. But it's not the first time that happened in the US, and more people tend to do that if you it's kind of like natural. So he just happened to open the door for us, and we said, oh, thank you, and we walk in, and then we walk 4 meters into the place, and then the same guy basically says, hey Kun, and then I look back, and only then did I realize that on his shirt it says Adam. I didn't see it. So you don't really, when someone just opens the door, you don't really scan the whole top to toe, like, yeah, I met Adam, had dinner with my wife and Adam as well, which was really cool. Then we went to Washington for a couple of days, where of course then we were at the White House as well. Now, honestly, not really impressive, to be honest. You can't really see it from close, so that's my wife and I. You can see the White House in the back, but it's not really, honestly, it's not really too interesting, to be honest. There were some other highlights in Washington that are more interesting, but that's stuff that I'll talk about and cover in the future live stream in more detail. And then later we then moved to New York. We traveled to New York, and that is where we spent 5 days. And in New York, or en route to New York, I also got a meeting with Jared Tendler. the author of The Mental Game of Trading, which is my absolute favorite trading psychology book. As you guys know, I've been talking about this book for, I don't know, over a year already, or maybe since the beginning of the channel. I love the book. I think it's the best one. Reached out to Jared, asked where he lived and if he would be open to meet as well. And we sat for 2 hours in the Starbucks talking, which was great. Like, such an amazing guy. Spoke more about his story, his entrepreneurship, trading psychology, where he comes from, because he used to be in esports and so was I. Spoke about my trading a bit, and he knows a bit about what I do, as we have been in touch online as well. So we have been in touch previously, and we've seen each other online, but we've never met offline. So that's why I asked him, and he had time and wanted to come, and we sat for like 2 hours talking. So that was great. My wife took the picture; she was there as well. And then with my wife, we went to New York. We visited Broadway, Times Square, the Design District, Finance District, New York Stock Exchange, the Rockefeller Building. We watched an NBA game, which was the New York Knicks versus the Golden State Warriors, and which actually the Golden State Warriors won. And yeah, that then brings us to today. So that's like a summary of the trip, not sharing all of the pictures, all of the stuff that we have done with all of the pictures, but at least you get kind of an idea. Now, the meeting with Bob Prechter, I couldn't record it because he invited us to a restaurant. Initially, I asked him if we could meet at the office of Elliott International, which was agreed, and then he invited us to come to dinner. Obviously, I love to have dinner with him and spend some quality time with the man himself. So couldn't record in a restaurant, of course, so didn't plug on the mics and all that stuff. But I prepared questions on WhatsApp. I asked many of those questions, and after the meeting, I basically wrote a summary of the conversation that I had with Bob Prechter, and I have them on my phone because I WhatsApped the conversation to myself, basically. So I will go through the answers and some of the things that he said, but that's for the live stream when I come back from skiing, because else it gets too late and too much, you know what I mean? Yeah. So okay, yeah, basically that is that. Cope for president. Stream would be of my whole life with Elliott Wave Theory. Yeah, I mean, it would be really cool if the community can ask questions, because I think like there's of course people talk with Bob, and it's usually recorded. Usually it's through a Zoom call. I wanted to meet him in person, but of course only if he agrees, because he told me at the end that he regularly gets those type of invites, and most of the time he says no. Now, I explained, and I had quite a long email explaining who I am, what I do, what my background is, send him all the links, all sorts of info, and la di la di la, and eventually, first email he said is that he was very much open to a meeting, but he was like, you know, it's a long way to travel to the small village where we live, so I'm also okay doing a Zoom or a Skype or a Discord meeting. And then I did not want to do an online meeting. I told him, like, I wanna meet him, and then he agreed on that. So yeah, awesome, man. Like, really cool. What an honor to meet the guy himself. So yeah, very nice. And it would be nice if we could do a live stream, like a duo stream, and that all of you can also ask questions, because online it doesn't often happen. I don't know if anywhere there's like a live stream where Bob just joins a live stream for an hour and also answers questions from the community. So that would be really cool. We are still in touch, Bob and I, on iMessage and WhatsApp. So I'll ask him at some point. But yeah. Elliott wave conclusion and how it was approached. Yeah, I'll talk about his story as well. So how he got into Elliott waves, and it's a nice story, you know. Okay. I know. Exactly. Everyone, I gotta call it a night. It is currently 10 p.m. I have to wake up at 3 a.m., 5 hours, for the trip. I had a very volatile last couple of days. I flew back from the US yesterday. So from New York to Paris, from Paris to Nice. We landed, my wife and I, yesterday at around 11 a.m. I was so dead that I slept a little bit in the afternoon. Then, of course, my suitcases were delayed. They didn't yet arrive. So then my suitcases arrived very late, which meant that last night was relatively short as well. And I think I slept, according to my smartwatch, about like 3.5 hours or something. I woke up at like 2:30, 2:45 a.m. Also because maybe a bit of a jet lag, of course, no surprise. And then kind of like sleepy, not sleepy, all the way till almost 4. But not like great quality, long time sleep. And today I just pulled through. So I haven't slept the whole day. Actually, I haven't really felt tired, but it is time for me to go, have a bit of a night, sleep less than 5 hours again. I usually sleep at least 7-8 hours. So I will have a short night, but Stein, the guy that you saw earlier in the stream, my friend, he's going to drive first, and we are with 2 cars, seven people, and I'll probably nap in the car if I can. So Kun is in an ABC correction, and he's gonna add to that I'm gonna crash soon. Yeah. So, okay, you know, the probabilities have been covered. I spoke about what I am looking for my trading on a 4-hour time frame. It's a messy market. It's a ranging market. Keep an eye on what's happening locally, but everything's been covered. I don't really want to go into all of that, of course. What's up, Jeroen, man? Also, guys, I would love to see a bit of a clap for Odin, Adam, maybe a Band-Aid, and Jeroen for helping everyone in Discord, email, and whatnot in the time that I am gone. I do keep an eye on Discord and Telegram and other stuff to answer questions whenever I can, but they are the ones that are very active. Also, I can't get in my Koens Trading email. When I was in the US, I traveled around all the time, and I tried. Of course, I was in my emails from a different IP, different location all the time, and I think my accounts got flagged for unusual behavior. So all of my emails got flagged. I could not get into my emails. Now I managed to get into, I think 2, but I didn't yet get into my Koens Trading at outlook.com. Interesting. So, and every time I try to get into it, it says too many requests. But I think it's because I changed IP, changed location, changed Wi-Fi, etc. So yeah, working on it. But you know, the upcoming week, I'm going to be on the mountains with a snowboard attached to my feet. So make sure to check out Instagram story if you want to see some stories of the mountains and me going with my friends and all that stuff. So you know where we hang out and what we do. But yeah, this is going to be it for me. Very likely this is the next update will be either on the 17th or the 18th in the morning when we pick up the usual stuff. And yeah, everything covered. So when I come back, I have many stories to tell to you about America in detail and the skiing trip as well. I also gotta say, I think the quality of this is actually quite good. I listened to my previous live stream and I was not unsatisfied. So yeah, pretty neat little mic. So at least for when I'm traveling, it's easy. So thanks everyone for being here. Yeah, I don't speak with anyone except Prechter and Jared Tendler. But good sound on the mic. Yeah, it's nice, eh? And it's also I got this like very nice pocket. I got another one. Got another mic, and I got the receiver. Oh, it's good. It's really good. Good stuff. For the ones that want to know, this is the Rode Wireless Go 2. People also use it for smartphone stuff. But thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching today's live stream. Everything has been covered. So I think the analysis started at like 15 minutes or whatever. I don't really know. I'll put the timestamps in maybe tomorrow or something, because I gotta go to sleep. I gotta go to sleep. So thanks for being here. Next update will be on the 17th or the 18th. I will keep an eye on Discord, Telegram, YouTube comments, and will answer them whenever I can, because I do have my phone with me everywhere I go and generally check stuff in the morning or late evening. I'm in the Central European time zone again as well, so I'm in the usual time zone as most of you are used to. And yeah, have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you live in the world. And we will see each other again in about like a week time.